I just got my first library card in 30 years, and it's completely changed my perspective on ownership, perfectionism, and what's actually worth my time.
Yes, the library, where I probably shouldn't even be filming this, the land of free books and helpful people and free art shows for kids, not adults.
But how did the building that my taxpayer dollars have been funding for years help me rethink perfectionism? And why is a weekly trip to the library part of my gap year routine? You see, my wife and kids have been coming to the library since they were old enough to walk through the aisles and pull all the picture books off of the shelf. They've been putting them in this cart, stacking it full of books, taking them home, reading them in about 32 seconds as soon as they got home, reading them throughout the week over and over before piling the cart full again and bringing them back to the library the next week to start the process all over again. If there was an award for most library books checked out and actually read, I think they'd win it. Their library receipts make CVS receipts jealous. Now, this cart is not some prop for a YouTube video. This is my family's weekly steadfast companion that has been in service at the library since essentially the beginning. But I never went to the library, and it's not because I don't like reading or hate books or have something against libraries. It's because I just didn't have time to browse. And when I was working too many hours here, I knew that my time to read would be very limited. And feeling like I would have to finish a book very quickly before it was due, or I might get a fine, was pressure I just didn't want to deal with. Yes, here I was making really good money and worrying about a $1 fine from the library. And if I ever got a recommendation for a book, I'd just buy it on Amazon. That's fine. When your income is high, you're not worried about a $10 or $15 book. But there was a cost beyond financial that I hadn't really considered until I reconnected with my local library. That sounds dramatic, so let me just show you. So here's what used to bother me. If I buy a book on Amazon, I feel like I have to finish it. It's what I call being a maximizer, where you're trying to squeeze everything out of every dollar that you spend, and that's partly what this channel is about exploring. But my brain goes, you gave up some of your life to buy these. I can't just not finish them. Can I? Enter the library, the land of, you can take this book, take it home, read as much or as little of it as you want, just please bring it back. No guilt necessary. Here's one of my most recent examples. I've been trying to read The Good Life, which is about the Harvard happiness study. It's incredibly well researched. The study has been going on for 85 years. But it's a little dense for me, and I've kind of struggled to get through it. And that's okay. I'm learning to let that be okay. I can just take it back without any guilt. If I had bought it for $13 on Amazon, I would be sitting here forcing myself to push on through, regardless of whether or not I was enjoying it, and in doing so, also wrecking my attempts of rebuilding a regular reading habit, because it's hard to be motivated to sit down and read when you don't want to finish the book that you've got in front of you. I also have realized that I rarely, and I mean rarely, ever reread a book, which means owning the book just creates clutter and then eventually the chore of having to resell the book. And reselling books is like a big slap in the face to my financial optimizer, mentality, because it's the realization that when you resell a book, you're not getting good value. It's more of the, well, that's better than nothing. 2 weeks ago, we hauled 2 boxes of books to the local resale shop. They gave us $12.23. Not per book, total. The financial optimizer in me needed a paper bag to breathe into. With the library, I'm rediscovering the joy of real books and talking to real people and the tangible analog experience that we seem to have lost in the digital rush. Having the freedom to read as much or as little of a book as I want without guilt has been freeing. It's like putting just a little bit more weight on the today side of the scale. This is what slowing down teaches you, that not everything has to be optimized or owned or even completed to have value. My gap year isn't just about big changes, but also small moments like this that shift how I live, one library trip at a time. Thanks for being here. If you've enjoyed this, a like, subscribe, or even sharing the video with your favorite book-loving friend really does help the channel. Also, let me know in the comments what's something you felt like you had to finish just because you paid for it. I know I'm not the only recovering maximizer out there, and your story might help somebody else finally let go too. Need to get back to my book.